Oops! Isn't this a fun card? I'm going to show you how to make a really easy slider card. Let's check it out. Here we are. I have used the Driving By stamp set on my card with the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. It's certainly a nice, bright, happy card on our grey overcast day here we have here at the moment. This stamp set and paper is a free choice for Sale-A-Bration with orders over $90. I've had lots of fun with this bright paper. It's so cool, and it was so great to use the Driving By stamp set. But you could try this card with any stamp sets you have. Maybe some fun animals will be really cute. Check out what you've got. So just a reminder though that all the products shown are available in my store. If you're in Australia, I would love to help you with your crafting supplies. Don't miss out on these bonuses for Sale-A-Bration. There's not long left. But what about the best value of 2 extra stamp sets you can pick up when you become part of the Stampin' Up family? I love to welcome new team members to my Gens Inc team. So just a reminder, you'll pay $169, get $235 products, plus the bonus stamp sets. But ask me more, all the details will be in a description on my YouTube or on my page, you can find me. Let's get on to the card. It's a standard size card, so from what I've made is 21 centimeters by 14.8 centimeters, scoring at 10.5, or 8.5 by 5.5 inches, score at 4 1/4. Each of these pieces will be just that slightly smaller, so 4 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. So we have a white card, which is 10.1 by 14.4 or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. The piece of Designer Series paper is 9.7 by 14 centimeters or 4 inches by 5 1/4. You'll also want an extra piece of card strip. This is beef for your pool, so have it in matching color to your card base. This is, let's check, 2.4 centimeters by 13 centimeters or just under 1 inch by 5 1/8 inch. Let's stick it together. So you can just use whatever glue you prefer. Just add a little bit of glue to the back. I've also got another piece of Designer Series paper. This is about 2 centimeters by 14 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4 inch. But you can create it however you want to. I just thought the green strip would be cool as some grass perhaps, but it doesn't really matter. So just line that along the bottom of your other paper. The great thing about using Tombow or a liquid glue is you can slide it when it moves. Now I'll bring in the paper trimmer because you'll want to cut your slit. In the past I have used a long punch like the old Word window punch we used to have. But you can easily do it on your paper trimmer too. So we're just going to position it on our paper, on the paper trimmer. I'm going to put it just so it goes against the top edge of that strip you've had. Line it up with the edge of your trimmer here. I've just made this a little bit, so we'll just go along. I'm going to cut it at about it's great having the measurements down the side. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You can just estimate it. Really, you want to get a long strip cut in. You don't want to cut all the way through. So it doesn't really matter too much about the measurements. But I'll just tell you what I've done. So I've put the point of that mark on your blade. I hope you can see that okay. I'll just bring that down a little bit. I put it at the 2.4 centimeter mark, or it's about an inch. You're going to cut it down to about 8.5 centimeters or 3¼ inches. Just give that a good cut back and forward. Then slide this along just a couple of millimeters or 1/4 inch, and you're going to do the same mark. So that's the good thing about having the measurements, is you can cut it at the same point. So we're going to go once again for about 2.4 centimeters down to 8.5. So you're cutting through the designer paper and the white card to get that slit happening just a couple of times. So you'll have this slit in it. So we'll just move the trimmer out of the way. Get some scissors. Of course, you can use the trimmer and just cut between those two lines if you like. But I'm just going to use some paper snips and just snip that there. So you have your little slit that you've created in your card. Now we've got our slit, we can put the card together. You want to bring your card base in. But first, before you do that, let's just get back to our strip. I'm using this punch. I just had to look up the name of the punch. I forgot what the name was. The Banner's Picker Punch. So you can do this angled edge or have more a banner point there. So, but we want to use this side. So I've cut it to size. So you're going to slide it into the track. Should just feed in there quite easily. And just check on the other side that it's centered and it's straight. So you can just give it a little wiggle like that. Punch that out. So there you have your little, that's going to be your pull for the card. So on our back of our card, just turn it over. So you've turned that over and the pull's in position. You're going to use the dimensionals. If you've got the long strips, you can use those. But if you've got these dimensionals, you can just use the edges. They're really great for it. Except it gets a bit sticky. So cut off one side. I use different scissors when I'm using dimensionals just because I don't want to get all my other scissors all sticky. So run that along the edge of where your pull is. So you're going to form a bit of a track. You can just add a couple of dimensionals along there if you wanted to. And we wanted a little strip for the end part because that's going to be your stopper, so it doesn't pull right through to the card. Right, so we have that's in position. Now you can just go along and add a few more dimensionals around the card. It's a bit of a sticky business. Some of these backs come off before I even put them on the card. Just going to add a little one to the corner here. Now you can add that to your card. Just center that. So you've got your pull in place, and just make sure that it slides okay, which it's working well. Now we want to decorate it. You can put it however you want. I've already coloured the car from the Driving by stamp set just to save a little time. But I've left the gifts on for the moment. But what I want to do is I'm going to just snip those off. Of course, leave it on if you want to, but I thought it was just a fun little addition. Obviously, didn't tie down his gifts too well when they popped off the card. We're going to add a small, some dimensionals along here. You just want small ones for this. So I'm just bringing the mini ones, or you can chop up the larger ones a lot more. Just put these in the track. Just trim that down a bit more because I don't want it sticking. You certainly don't want your pull part to stick. So probably 3 will be enough. So we can get those out of the way. And place your card on here. I'm actually going to what I've done is just line it up. So the car's actually, oh, can you see it? My hand's probably in the way. That car is actually on the grass. Put more dimensionals along there if you want. Now, you just want to make sure that slides well. To add our little gifts, add some more dimensionals. Cut that down if you don't want so much. How fun is that? All right, so we've got the rest of the decoration. I've got the cloud pattern on the Designer Series paper is so cool that you can use the cloud punch. I'm just cutting that out. To punch it out to make life so much easier. Just slide that in there, and I also trim it down a bit so you're not wasting all the other clouds. A cloud with love hearts. Isn't that sweet? So that's a great addition, that you can punch the clouds out. With the sentiment, I already stamped up. This is from the Many Messages stamp set, and I've die cut it with the Messages die. So we'll bring that banner punch in again. This time it's a smaller piece. So this is about 1.2 centimeters by 8.5 centimeters, or 1/2 inch by 3 1/4 inches. So you can slide that in those tracks again, but make sure that it is lined up. I actually used, that's right, I used the other one. Just did that in time. Slide that in. Just make sure it's centered. And that fits on just nicely on your sentiment piece. So we'll just put it together. I've written the pull on the tab, raise up the cloud with dimensionals, and add your sentiment on with dimensionals. There you have it. A fun slider card, and quite simple to do. So what do you think? If you're on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel too, so you don't miss other projects. If you're on Facebook, give it a like, share it. I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.